Okay. Mic is now on. Let us make sure we are live everywhere that matters. I have to rewatch that one. Fucking love John Brown shit. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, we got audio on YouTube side. That's the side I did the most shits about. So... Okay, Pascal.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Tell me the truth about you.
The request is
I met the
approved.
dendrite spoiler on the
I
tech priest
did
chest and
conceal
stole her to
certain
sign and protect him.
information.
The request
I
is
was a
approved.
student of Archmagus Amanat, but I committed an act of betrayal after he deviated from sacred dogma.
What did he do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things.
Ah, that's why my thing's being fucking weird. Alright.
My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah. He sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition.
Yeah, she's trying to rub it as my
because
modern
he
blood.
saw
I'm like,
the
no,
inevitable
that shoot.
demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Okay, I actually wanted you guys to make your own cycle. Ossified, his argument sounds reasonable.
This statement is false. My mentor's words sound like heresy. Limits were established because it is dangerous to venture beyond. Each step past them could lead to a bloody slaughter, but the blessed Amanat was not afraid.
How did you betray him?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to servo penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected brothers, resisted.
Ooh.
My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave.
Yeah, no, schisms within the cult mechanics are not good. They're basically like schisms inside the ecclesiarchy. You start pitting fucking zealots against each other, each one of them completely fanatical in their belief. Shit's gonna get fucking weird real fast.
I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen, anathematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagus Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
You acted as a loyal son of the Imperium. You acted as a loyal son of the Imperium should. I think that should be you acted as any son of the Imperium should. So you betrayed your mentor.
This statement is true. However, I took this step out of loyalty to my mentor. He rejected caution and was leading us blasphemous war where he would become the first and most important victim. I did not want to witness his destruction and tried to force him to submit.
That's fair.
I wanted to return to my mentor and share his fate, but the Conclave found me repentant and sent me to the station Alter Templum Calixis EXT-17, where I was to atone for my previous transgressions.
Instead of finding its uses, you are at technology.
This statement is false. I, Pascal Hahnemann, fully accept responsibility for my profane acts and betraying the trust of my esteemed mentor.
Yeah, maybe that was the wrong choice of words there. Didn't mean to say you're good at finding this juice. Like, what you're saying sounds like you have had a long time to think about it and come to terms with what you're saying, and you believe it to be true. So why did you go to Rytar Minoris?
I was summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the Blessed Amanat's personal code, and could it be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain. We were in danger, and I had to go to Rycat Minoris.
Abel, who is he?
Assessing his personality is difficult. The spirit of Brother Abel is different from that of most people. Tech comrades of the COG call such persons quiet ones. He possesses
You guys who are here for
significant
stopping
intellect,
by, I
but
appreciate
shuns
you.
communication.
It's gonna be a more boring episode today, or stream today. Gonna be doing a lot of talking and listening. Most people Ted Breeze called quiet ones. He possesses significant intellect, but shuns communication. So he's on the spectrum. Alright.
So far, I have not been able to determine why Abel summoned me to Rycat Minoris, how he is related to the Blessed Amanat, or why he bears the same name as me. Perhaps Reverend Abel may not be fully able to actualize and interpret the available data.
What are you gonna do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the Blessed Archmagus Amanat who assumed the guise of Abel Hahnemann. But there
You're
is
Abel
a
Pascal.
connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link.
I have no more questions.
Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the Blessed Amanat. The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information.
Tell me about your Methodendrites.
They are my younger brothers and guides on the way to the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension.
Okay, so they're a part of you. They are connected to your brain. They're just an extension of your limbs. Alright, and where are you from?
Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Coronis Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant.
So you're well over 200 years old, then you're probably close to 300 or 400 years if you're Magos. How did you end up here?
I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Coronis Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension.
Why are you now with the fleet now then?
After I betrayed Archmagus Amanat, the fleet conclave
That's right,
directed
exile.
me to the orbital station, Alter Templum Calixis EXT-17, for penance. This venerable temple station was founded in the early years of our expansion into the Coronis Expanse. It is currently a rear observation post of the Cognizance Fleet in orbit around the star
Furibundus. Okay. Where are the explorators?
The sacred fraternity of explorers. The cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the code who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge.
Okay.
Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy.
We can stop here.
Acknowledged.
Tell me about the Dentus Mechanicus.
I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets. We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened.
Do you hold a high
This
position?
electu indicates that I am a Magos, who has mastered the sacraments of many spheres of knowledge, and has the right to conduct services in a forged cathedral.
What's behind it? It's Mechanicus' enthusiasm for replacing flesh and augmentation.
Organic tissue is an imperfect replica
Because
of
the flesh is
machine.
weak.
Transient and vulnerable. Metal is more stable, more effective, and more durable. Flesh speak is flawed next to biheric language. Meat begets weakness. It softens the mind and undermines discipline. But you can replace metal when it wears down. In addition, a machine is a supreme form of knowledge, and by assuming mechanical form, we become closer to the Omnissiah.
The flesh is weak.
However, like all things sacred, our augmentations must not be defiled by the eyes of the ignorant, which is why we reveal only the crudest of tools, while holier mechanisms remain concealed beneath our crimson robes.
I am curious to see these augmentations.
The right to witness the miracle of flesh being fused with holy metal is granted only to those who have ascended to the rank of initiate. However, your lofty status of rogue trader allows me to make a partial exception and reveal my sacred stigmata.
Ooh. Pastel revealed parts of his. Pastel reverently parts the robes, starlit, folds of reverently parts the robes, starlit folds on his chest. You see eminently white meat, gnawed through by metallic shunts and flexible wires. Blood runs through transparent pipes, enriched with the nutrients required by the pulped flesh. Instead of a body transformed into an appendage to an independently complex mechanism built using unfathomable ancient blueprints is mesmerizing. Every component of this machine serves as a dual purpose of preserving life in Pastel's fragile flesh and preventing all threats to his well-being. The Omnissiah has been generous to you. His creation is keeping you safe from death.
The Omnissiah has been generous to you too. He has granted you understanding.
Okay, speaking is there because of the augmentation? Does your face dictate that you should express yourself?
Partially true. I had a voice modulator implanted alongside the respiratory purification module, but there is an additional reason. Gothic is not my first language. I am used to thinking and making statements in lingua technis. The binaric language is more informative.
Like your
more
binary
economic,
streets, I
and
think
less
zeros
prone
and
to
ones just like
misinterpretation.
yelled at you. You like, if you're familiar with a dial-up internet and the sound that makes, it's a That would be basically like this. What is the Omniscience in your understanding?
He is the divine mechanism, the maker of technology. The universe was made to resemble a mechanical marvel because the Omnissiah rules over it. Knowledge is the highest form that he uses to manifest in the world. For now. Someday, he will come to this world in the absolute fullness of his splendor.
Okay. If you read the Adeptus Mechanicus Codexes all the way up through, the Omnissiah is the Emperor. Straight up. The Machine God, different. The Omnissiah is the Machine God's representative on Earth. That's why Omni is supposed to be like the Machine God, Saya, Omnissiah. The Emperor is the Messiah of the Tech Priests. He's not their god, but in the same instances of Catholicism where, what is it, God, the Holy, God, the Holy Ghost, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Triad, kind of the same thing. They're all one, but they're all different.
Worshipped the Emperor. He is the earthly manifestation of the Omnissiah, who brought humanity into
There we
the
go. I
light
tried to
of
wait.
divine grace.
Never mind, just I'll go fuck myself. No more questions for you.
Acknowledged. May your labor.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine.
Yeah.
Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Was there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Sherin, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for your ears alone.
Okay. Let's discuss, Shirin. The flicker light dozens of candles play across Jerry's face, making her small smile appear even more mysterious. Shireen, the exalted one himself, brought us together today. Excuse me. Got hiccups or burps or something. Day crossed Vladheim's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people on my world say when such a thing happens? What gained is to be shared with your neighbor. Ooh, so we're splitting it. She points at the container in front of her. One contains a polished Eldari rifle, a rare model, and the other holds an ornate sword. I am sharing what I gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though subtly struck friendship. Wanderer's potent. It's Raz. I need Dukari weapon proficiency for that. Yet more Xenos heresy, you're at the nerve of trying to peddle this filth. You are not here to exchange pleasantries. What do you want to discuss? So these gifts, my lowliest enforcer, are equipped with deadlier weapons in this. Shrug. A truly wonderful gift. I accept with gratitude. I knew you would appreciate the Xenos mastery of the craft. Jay beams at you, curling a lock of black hair around her augmented finger. So, the matter I want to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell Xenos artifacts. I interest Imperial Xenos artifact to interest Imperial subjects. The Imperial trinkets of Xenos to Xenos. Business is doing well, and my network runs even without my participation. But when it comes to expansion, well, that's where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Jay throws up her hands. Falco especially. I am certain the theft of the cargo was his doing. I would never predict what the Ashmad will do next. And while the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in these bands, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. If you were slightly less useful to me, I would have brought you to justice myself. Get to the point, I do not have time to spend all day chatting with you. Go on. If the road trader put a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agent protection against Ashman's teams, far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. And the best part is that it will cost you practically nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate for the Master of Seals. The information will tell me. My informants tell me that the palace is located in Duradnus, your capital world. You see how everything is aligned so wonderfully, and of course, I will repay you in kind. How do I benefit from you gaining official status? How do I benefit from this? Besides being the recipient of my eternal gratitude, Shireen, Jay playfully raised an eyebrow. Won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind it, and rather than just your own pawn? One slip of paper, and I will be able to extend my network to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your eyes and ears throughout the expanse. You know what? Yeah, I'm in. Exalted. And you will have no complaints about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I will still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish a relationship with. The Dressari. The Sarans. Saint Dressaris, legendary hero. Pirates, the Caballet. Help me establish Chesaballet, Dressarans. That's Mechanicus. Get me close with the Mechanicus. 2,000 with the Explorator's fleet. They wait until you steer your vessel towards Duradnus. Just as to want to trade. Can't use that yet. You can go there. Keep you around. Need the flamers. Okay, let's get the hell out of here. Can't use that Dratari weapon yet. Someone needs to have... that as an option. Should probably talk to you. Just the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officer's mess.
Okay, back to my fucking office. Thank you for an opportunity to talk to me. I trust now will be a good time to explain the reason my return to your board. I would welcome a chance to assist the Inquisition with estuaries, Vantali, with its estuaries. I do not object to you personally, but I find the distinguished presence of the Inquisition agents on my ship unnerving. Your concern is unfounded as long as there is no substantial reason for it. I hope there will not be one. Fair enough. To business then, the cult of the final dawn, the madmen preached their heretical doctrine among the Denzians of the Throne's Expanse, and instate triumphs against the throne of humanity. One such triumph took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the road trader to the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observation in the capital world. While the Ornazinos agents investigated Chaos cult, you are well versed to what an Inquisition to know how the Inquisition is organized. Rebellious. Yes, initially our arrival on the Throne's Expanse was dictated the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangled related to my main speculation. Perhaps you'll be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. Donald Richardson mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show leniency towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. That's correct. I should show great tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed road trader. To be frank, I'm surprised Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of the soul and mind, even as someone who only recently accepted the burden of lofty title. Chaos tone of my protectorate. Chaos tread softly, Rabbitus. The main danger Stratolis and sets is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grows, and bears monstrosity fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the road traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head itself is a chaos whisperer. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valsius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant, as am I. Henrich regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. It is indeed so. It is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then, perhaps, you would get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. You have spies on the Von Valsius worlds? Want to know more about the Final Dawn? I've already agreed to give you a place aboard my ship. What else? Outsider should deliver me to the system containing the industrial world Calvadama. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine the cult is planning and how to intend. I plan on going there anyway. A Chaos Space Marine on a right to Minaris. Do we risk running into his brothers? I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later. Rebellious Chaos Marine setting with cults is very bad news, most likely kept very well. Recently, puppets for the accessible distance. Their traders seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with at least a squad of Chaos Space Marines across its pants, and not an entire company. I won't let anyone throw their weight around on my worlds, be they servants to chaos or heretics. Drutari on Reichard's son. Drutari, one of the branch of the Odari, an ancient and vicious race. These creatures living terror the ordinary people, fall prey to their raids. Simple reason the victims are not jailed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drutari require such energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Their ship, which are difficult to mistake from any others, arrive suddenly and undetermined. Their stealth and knowledge greatly surpass the capabilities of Standard Imperium Order arrays. The objectives of the raid is never to capture a world or a ship. No, they only are interested in fresh victims after filling their holds with living captives to disappear into the webway, a different dimension which conceals their greatest strongholds, Tamaroth, the Dart City. I'm surprised that one's not highlighted. The Dart City of the Drutari, from which none can hope to escape. I do not know what the Drutari stole Ricard's son and brought about the fulfillment of the Told prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played the arch enemy's design, or perhaps Aurora's divination is in fact described in the Drutari's actions. There's only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There's no alliance between the Told and the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It's simply impossible. I agree. Alright. Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, and my goals is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against the foes you may not even be aware of. Yeah. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. You're very welcome. Let's get the fuck out of here. Okay, that's 2 of my retinue down. Aberlin, what do you have to say? You're right here.
Lord Captain.
Okay, you have nothing to say.
Lord Captain.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Argenta.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy with her dark eyes shining with the bright blush of her cheeks. She is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once. She has spoken the final line. Tell me about your past and explain the strange words of the cultists.
About me. I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me? Gladly, there are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy.
There's a cabman at arms.
I beg your pardon, rogue trader.
Men.
Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
Second. What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
Yeah, but the Pronatus aren't a militant branch.
Don't let the name deceive you. The Order's militant trains sisters to march onto the battlefield as an army. That does not make sisters who belong to the non-militant orders timid and helpless. Both the solace-bringing Sisters Hospitaller and the enlightened Sisters Dialogus know how to greet enemies of humanity. Their dialogue with heretics is usually quite short, with the last word being a bolter discharge.
Okay, come here. Hi. Hi. Want to say hi? Want to say hi? No? Okay. There you go. She decided no. Yeah.
And my order has all the more reason to be known for the martial prowess of its sisters. We are the keepers of the Imperium's relics. What would become of our blessed hero's legacy if the Sisters Pronatus could not protect it? It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring
Good.
his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Another question.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be
Tell about your
imprudent.
past and explain the
It is
strange
a
words
virtue
that
to take-
cultists on football.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Fair enough. Argenta nods gratefully. If I say, giving her that, letting her see a relic of the Emperor, would probably buy me a lot of points with her. And it drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the Aquila, which is that, by the way, is sign of the Aquila. Your thumbs are two eagle heads pointing in opposite directions. Your fingers are the wings. Thumbs are the two different eagle heads. Sign of the Aquila. Her eyes are locked and sweeping sentence doesn't want to trade. A seeming mundane thing, merely a flourish on the paper, unless one knows whose hand left the mark and whose blood is on that paper. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. Burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. If thou knowest a fault of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. If thou seest a light in mine, grace me. If thou heartest this plea of mine, hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and righteousness. Argenta's voice is seronious as if made for singing a hymn and prayers, but right now she cannot seem to catch her breath, so overwhelmed with emotion is she. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to the servants of thine, and ruin the foe of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Upon finishing, she closes her eyes and remains silent for a long time with her head raised high. Slowly, the first slits of flame in a campfire. A smile blossoms on her lips. When Argenta finally opens her eyes, they are alight with uncanny resolution. Road trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth of how I ended up on Theodore von Valstia's ship, and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I tell you my story, and you'll see why. Argenta pauses. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary that I'd been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Helsman's mission, and no Hieromas's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respected the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appears. She was an agent of the divine will in a way. Argenta faltered, searching for her words. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was a little interest. A fair world away from the conventional war approach. For me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I never even heard of such a planet. Does it belong to the Von Valsius dynasty? Yes, now the planet is yours by right, but not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Please continue. The description of the Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seems very similar to the world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Her voice rose reverent. Argenta, the living saint. She is a patroness. The order named me after her. She died a millennia ago, and her inheritance caused her ship to fall from the skies. So much for Salus Prime. But then the blasphemous could not touch Argenta's ashes or holy relic. The one star, the fallen ship, such as a resting place for the saints' remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. But even those blasphemous could not touch Argenta's ashes or holy relic on the one star for her fallen ship. Okay, I already read that. Imagine what I felt when the flash of insight came to me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I myself, named after the saint, came across this information I raised. I realized the moment that it was a potent, that I must journey to the planet to find the ship, and so I asked Reverend Hymars to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodore's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Was thrilled at this prospect. Theodore is lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered planet, and she took me with her. Why did they keep your suspicion of Reverend High? Couldn't just come out and tell him. It was a fortunate revealed to me personally. Can you see? I told Reverend Hyman the honest truth, and I was going to personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. And I was doing a personal pilgrimage, embolden my spirit. It was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself has shown me the way, demanding me to undertake the trial. I had found the ship and set foot on the decks. If I had laid my hand on the remains of the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed. Understandable, for destiny, responsible of you. As the decision on what to do with it. Yeah. Don't tell him the plot revealed to me personally. They didn't understand me. I had been called, and thus it was my business and mine alone. What happened next? Defeat. The ship's odders failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though according to the legend, the ship concealed itself from naked eye. Only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. And when I didn't expect was to be ambushed waiting for us on the planet, I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodore. I know Saint Argenta's hydrography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the description of the mountains, the rivers, the millennia old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. Shine, footfall, something about ways, doors, please address to the Lord, the edge of daybreak, attempted to shade it with disgust. The same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search in the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. Didn't net those events at first. The thoughts on footfall, the thoughts on Salus Prime, the thoughts attaching the ship on Conrad Betrayal. What does these all link the same chain? But these are all links in the same chain. What their long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valsia servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? But yourself, if the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valsia ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. No one set a particular interest in the planet. Managed to escape the cultist. Gastro Trader. I saw that in your... Saw with my own eyes how a member of the family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch enemy. I had already suffered a humiliation defeat at the hands of the cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and I studied you if my seeds to receive corruption or the light of righteousness. Therefore, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argentine's ship. And what did you find? Managed to shoulder to shoulder with me and help me eradicate the cultists on footfall. Although my options of you started to change even before then. Back when you agreed to take the orphans at my request, a leader willing to honor those who laid down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust in the way you acted in that moment. Do you remember there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence? Yeah, I ordered him beat. Research in a blind eye to his insolence, even when it came from a thoughtless boy. That is a sign of a firm leader, road traitor, one who doesn't tolerate weakness. The Imperium needs people like you. I ordered that kid fucking beat, and I gave no fucks afterwards. I was like, someone speak. I did my very, very authoritarian speech, and it's like, someone speaks out. It's like, have him beat. The rest of you back to your dorms. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Certify. You're wounded. Found to the ship. That's right. Yes, I refused. Yes, I arrested Theodore the moment I couldn't walk again. I insisted we were going back to the Salus Prime. I defended the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp had destroyed the old routes of the planet and plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. That would be anything more than important in protecting the fate and hunting down the surface of the arch enemy. Any moment the route was lost and all knowledge of it died in that attack. I don't see with the old navigator, but now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the Tulsa Shrine on Footfall. I don't care what we reprobate we executed said. There will be a way to track them down. Tell me, Road Trader, will you help me with this undertaking? Will you help me find a great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? If it's important to you, I will help. So be it, Road Trader. As I stand here before the warrant embroidered with the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned. And the heretics punished, and now by the light be with us both on his path. Yay, Ashray's done. We're finishing quest lines. Woo! Experience. A quill of bullshit. Yay. Be right back. Let's check what else we have to do. Reclaim what was raw. Siege to the cult. After the death of the last victim, yep. Waiting on that. Kiva Gamma. To be used to the trapped bridge. Von Valshi's flagship. Is it this? And inside there, surface draw, close on your hand. It's informing that the system was encrypted data stored inside. I wish to know its contents. In the word, the Ted Priest turns to Tajin and raises his hand. In a prayer binary code pours out of the Taj Vod's devices, servo monitors in the bowels of the machine grow louder. Its ungurgling hum responds, and its chant numerical combinations run through its screen. Scanning. The machine spirit has discovered numerous critical errors that has damaged register interred. Machine spirit has spoken the words of Kaiva Gamma and Doradnos hold certain data repositories. Method is ready to provide the Road Trader with data keys that can unlock said repositories. You need to know what that are repositories. How do I accept the keys? Transfer the data keys to the head of the Monvouchius. Means of Oletto, hypnotic tattoo augmentation. Ready to accept the keys, place your hand inside the servo mouth. Deep within the servoto's gullet, unseen burning hot needles piercing the wrist. Sharp pain, lost moment of let 2 has been planted inside your wrist. Should be enough to open the repository doors. Need to know more about the cache. Store data to a cache located. Datamus. Data has been restored. What's down inside repository? Have other questions. Turn how the ship is able to start her warp engines. Ally pursuing the knowledge and hopes to respond to its downside race journey. That's footfall. Capital World. I'm gonna achieve a Dama first. Let's dump cargo. Somewhere in 100 Dreams or Landon's Belt. Most Captain, reach within the Von Vasquez Protectorate of utmost urgency, restoring communication with your planets, bestowing wisdom in your breeds upon its stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, establishing trade routes. All of this is now the privilege and is now your privilege and burden. Never check this out. Station airlots have been sealed from the inside of Otratorni's in the priests of the altar Templum Challenge at 17 station have to communicate with the laity, refusing access to the guests. Basically, that's Matanza's privilege and invulnerability, granting them sole jurisdiction over their sacred sites. Okay, now how do I make an actual fucking warp jump? Here we go. System is fraught with mortal perils. No, it's a warp. Only a navigator can plot towards the warp. 2 other star systems like the circular. Left mouse button. Absolutely safe. Unpredictable. High probability, red root, sure signs. Yep. You know where the fuck are we at? There's a Veteros. Dreams Crossroad or Land Use Belt. It's an uncharted system, but it's guaranteed safe. Might as well visit it. I mean, we're fucking here. We spent the time to make the jump. Ooh, we got pirates. And we got a space hulk. Where are we at? Right here. Touch of space dust. More fuel. We'll check out the Hulk. Multiple drive square plus 15 bonus to commerce. Fuck it, we'll hit the pirates. They're in the third system of the game, so they shouldn't be too difficult. And they're in an easy system. Unless they're made A. You thought you were cheaty? There's nothing here. Because Owlcat. Oh, it's just 2 Cobras. Three. Okay. Fire. Fire. Rotate. Macro. Put the plasma into him. It's fine. In your prow. Take the hits. And I'm in your front arc now, so... Be thankful for that fact, I guess. this turn. Enjoy this. I'm directly on your ass. Have fun with that. Larger ship than you. I should have restocked my shields. You'll be okay. Yeah, have fun with that. All right. Say, how much of your shields do you want completely fucked? Do you need to turn back into me at some point? I won't have any fucking range on you, but it'll be fine. There we go. And that's stripped. Now we turn this way. One. Put a shot right in your ass. And dead. You tried to run away, and it did not work out well for you. Sorry, not sorry. And then check the planet. Can scan. Do you want to set up an extractium source of plasteel? Yes, I do. Plan to survive resources before. Development colonies to complete contracts, and also use them to trade with various factions. Contracts are not available in your journal. Contracts require issue request issue to colonies. All right. Contracts chronicles known as places placed well onto the planet was prosperous outpost, staple of Eclipse and even footfall. Then used to be Cyclopean Tomb Station on its orbit, the final resting place. Sato, one of the discoverers of Tron's Expanse, assumed David's name to the entire system. However, 100 years ago, neither life nor loot, but knowing that its nasty tricks and light and bullets treachery of its own. Okay, so I didn't get anything out of that. But I'm generating plasteel out of here, so that's something in the very least. So from here, chart new routes. Solve. To start difficulty save. Let's say the ritual addressing the spirit of this ship were been performed. Right, machine blessing ended that meditation in order to comprehend the nature of the miraculous sent down to the Messiah, acquisition of the sacred knowledge retorted. So what does this mean? The abilities remind me what you wanted me to find out. Ship or engine are filled with a motive force despite the mass comprehensive errors. Technology miraculous achieved. No doubt it was a grace of the Messiah, but such occurrences have been described in the catalog before, hoping to gain sacred knowledge. The nature of what happens. Embarked on the blessed research and prayer. Word received. Thank you. The Messiah knows all, comprehends all. That seems rather pointless, but okay. Alright, so we have a plasteel, adamantine, fuck yes. As the old hermit for a blessing. And dialogue. Don't think I got the blessing for the old hermit. Did not feel like reading through all that. Got one more thing to put down. And yeah, we'll do it for provisions. Is that crack? Crack grenades are useful. We're also doing plasteel, adamantine, and provisions, so worthwhile. We got a halt. Do the scan. We'll take you instead on this one. Since your entire fucking play style seems to be, hey, you get extra points, you get extra points, you get extra points. Let's go, bitch. Alright, yeah, let's do it. Oh, I've done this one before. What are you running with? Serrating pistol, splinter pistol, Odari chainsword. Let's take a look over here. I could give you 17 to 25. That's just better. Sits at 10. Sits at 9. Where the fuck are you? I know I have a... There you are. Strain 60. There you go. You're an officer, which means Sutran strategist. Yeah, tail zone sounds good. Point of interest. Fly. Done. Okay. If I remember right, this is going to end event. Yep. This will end eventually with me fighting a demon engine. So I have a short on my channel. Like, oh, at least it didn't screech at binary in me. Or screech at me in binary. So we won't get to hear tonight because we're going to be calling it
There will be no peace in
here
my wake.
pretty soon.
In the shadows of the Imperium's ignorance, my genius blossoms. Oh, how they fear the brilliance that eludes their narrow vision. What if...
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Let's see...
Still red.
Let us seize the moment.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Yeah, exactly.
The Emperor sets my path. I better myself through my service.
Good, good. I'm glad you do that. Penalty to perception. Roll attacks made against the wearer. To all enemies in 2 cell radius of the wearer. Where the fuck did that just go? Fucking crat grenades right there.
They will see. Oh, yes. They all will see.
Operation successful.
Hey, passed. Alright, we're gonna save it right here. Call it. Thanks so much for stopping by. I will see you later. Have a good night.